Well, we did start the meeting already, at 6:30 or 8, and all we did was, we did the roll call, and we did the approval of the minutes, which passed, 3-0. And we were just, getting into, just finished up communication.
Who is attending? Who was on your roll call?
So do you have the,
I have
agenda?
the original email.
Did you
from
have
Lisa.
the agenda?
I beg your pardon?
Do you have the agenda in front of you?
I do.
All right, so I just checked off, like, my name's Cindy Fortner.
Right.
Bruce McDermott is here. Leanne.
Yeah.
Aline Schulman.
Okay.
And then, those are the committee members.
Yep. So you got your quorum. Okay.
Yep. And then, I have 4 other people who are here who are a long time, contributors, volunteers. And, that is Shirley Mitzko, Mitsko.
Yeah.
Go
ahead.
Meredith has volunteered to take some minutes for us, and she works with Leanne.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, and she's an interested participant, right?
And what?
You're an interested participant of beautification now.
Well, I stood in for Leanne when you were planting in front of the police department.
Right.
And I sent an email or 2 emails to Aline Schulman concerning
The planting.
flags
Flag.
near where I live and where I walk every day. So yes.
Right. Yeah.
So you
right.
said you had
So
in addition,
I've
you
got
had
3 more people who are attendees.
Who are they? You said Shirley Mitzko?
Yeah. Jim Salmon, SAMMONS.
Okay.
Sharon D'Amato.
I'm sorry, would you say that again?
Sharon D'Amato, DAMATO.
Okay.
And our last person is Missy, and I'm so embarrassed to say it, my brain is not working. Tell me your last name, darling. House. H-O-U-S-E. H-O-U-S-E, the easiest one. God, I hate when my brain does that.
Did you say the first name was Darlene?
No.
Missy, M-I-S-S-Y.
Missy, I'm sorry.
Hello, Missy.
And on the approval of minutes, since I for some reason I could not get on. They've been approved, and do you need to keep a record of who voted in favor or who abstained?
Aline moved to approve, and Bruce McDermott second. You can just
Yeah.
you can use last names if you like.
Yeah.
So they were approved. And I'm sorry you couldn't get on. We just got on ourselves.
Okay. Thank you.
Did I
Cindy,
say that we called the meeting to order at 6:38?
You said 638?
Yes.
Yes, you did say that.
Right. And then communication, Aline had attended the Sutton Park presentation. And is working on NIP and IPF collection. I don't have a treasurer's report. We haven't spent a lot of money. So we started the year with $4,000. We spent a little bit of money, but it's been spent and then, received redeposited for t-shirts. So there's really not much movement there in the treasurer's report.
So how much did you
Spending the
spend?
money soon. I'm sorry?
So how much did you spend and what's in the account now?
I don't have that. So sorry, just say no report.
Okay, okay.
So now we're gonna move into unfinished business. And obviously, you probably know this, just the, overview of what we're gonna talk about.
Mm-hmm.
So, the first thing on the agenda is the NIPS project. So, the first NIPS project that we talked about is the fish. We're, our nice big fish. I need to tell you that very unfortunately, Clint had a stroke, but he's doing well. I spoke with him. He sounds great, but he has to do some physical therapy before he's allowed to go back to work. Yeah. So,
How did that happen?
just recently, when I had sent him an email letting him know that we'd gotten the approval from the town of Nowang for the planning, and he said, well, that's great. Bad news is, so he didn't tell me an exact date, but he immediately answered my email. So I called him and we had a nice conversation.
Good.
So, he's not one to sit for long. Yeah, so I'll chat with him.
Well, that's
Yeah. So that, and then the other project we voted last month to spend money on was the, funding the water bottle fill station in Mystic, and I started to do a email to Greg Hanover and recently realized I never sent it, so he hasn't even received that from us yet. So I'm apologize, that was my duty, although I also was thinking that he specifically told me, in the winter months, we're not gonna be able to have a fill station in the winter months. So, I don't know if they would want to install it over the winter if we don't have a tough winter, or they wait till spring anyways, I'm not sure. And I don't know because like I said, I found the email, I'm like, oh, well, that's great. So, I wanted to let you know that I didn't want to say, oh, I sent him an email and I haven't heard back from him when I did it yesterday.
So if we do those two projects, do we have any money left over in the NIPS account?
Yes. We will still have money left over. But those are the two things we're working on right now.
I'm sorry, was that Aline who spoke?
Now, I'm speaking, I've been speaking the whole
No,
time.
I know somebody asked a question. So the question, Nancy, hi. Was the question, would there be money left over after dealing with this water bottle
Yeah.
project? Okay.
Yeah, Missy asked that question.
Missy.
Yeah. All right. All right, so why don't we go right into ARPA update? I've got a brief one, so I'm gonna go first. I've been emailing with Peter Wood about the implementation of the landscape at the town hall. And he knew that it was going to be hot today and this week, and so he is hoping for the second week of September to begin the installation of the landscape project at the town hall. The 16th.
The second week would be next week.
But I don't know. It doesn't really involve us. He's going to do all the work, and we ask for the work to be done, and then he's going to have to ask for the money from the town. So he is really looking at weather, but I have been in touch with him numerous times to make sure that we're going to get this done in September. So that's what I have to say about the, town hall landscape project. Now, Bruce, Meredith, Bruce had already talked about, he had mentioned that he had talked with Mark Berry, who's the director of Parks and Rec, about sculptures. We're working on we received some money to put sculptures around town.
I do have an update on that from Kevin, by the way.
And so Bruce is in charge of this and will be speaking about that now. All right, let's let it rip.
Kevin Fitzgerald, who's the guy that doles out the ARP funds, has asked that we put together a motion approving the general outline of what we want to do so that he can thereby dispense the money when I asked for it, he asked for it. So I said I would do that, and that was just the other day.
Right.
So I put together a motion. We would have to suspend the rules, consider the motion, but I have it written out if you want to hear it.
I've also got it printed out.
Oh, you have it
Yeah,
right in front of you? Okay,
Yeah,
fine.
I do. I would be able to suspend the rules. I thought
Well,
we
you just do it, I suppose.
Well, no.
if you want.
I thought you can bring up the motion. Somebody has to bring it, suggest it, somebody has to second it, and then you can discuss it.
Okay,
Right?
that's good.
Okay. So this, the way it's worded though, seems like,
You change it any way you want.
all right. So I'm going to read the motion, and I can get this. I could actually he sent this to me. I could actually probably text it to you, Meredith.
Or scan and email it, yes.
Yes, exactly. And I have it in an email. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I can get that right to you. And I have your email too because, Lisa forwarded everything to me. So this was the motion that Bruce wrote. He would like to move to proceed with spending $9,999 in appropriated grant money for leasing 5 sculptures to be erected on town-owned land, planned in concert with the Public Works and Parks Department. The locations have been roughly established. Bruce will put out an artist call and enlist Jean Cirobolo from Yukon Von Schiff Gallery to aid in the selection process. That was the original motion that Bruce sent to me and sent out to Lisa, and this was the response that I got from Lisa. I just wanted to let you know that I can add sculptures to the agenda, but the funds cannot be allocated without knowing whom the funding would be awarded to for the sculptures. But now that I've heard from you, what I think Kevin wants is the support of our committee
Yes.
for the project.
Right.
So it doesn't actually have to be the money piece, because the money piece, so we really need to discuss this at a higher level.
No, that's fine. I didn't realize that.
Yeah. Well, I just got that this afternoon, and I just read it before the meeting, so
Okay.
I would have let you know that, but I was on the fly today.
Okay.
So therefore,
So we just knock out the number then, essentially.
so yes, knock out the number. So why don't you make a motion to
Okay.
to approve this? Somebody needs to second it, and then we will discuss it. Okay.
Okay. I make a motion to proceed with leasing 5 sculptures to be erected on town-owned land.
And that's probably good enough. So we don't have to do all the detail.
Okay,
It's like, because we're just going to talk about the support for this project.
gotcha.
Okay.
Okay.
Would anybody like to second? Okay, Aline will second that. Is there any discussion about this?
On just that part, what you read.
Just about this specific ARPA project and how it's going to be implemented, and do we support it? And any questions, suggestions, input? It all comes
Okay, well then the future of it is kind of like what I'm thinking, like what happens when this leaks and the 5 artists move on, then what happens? Do we need another $9,000 then?
We would need more money, that's right. Essentially the same thing. The lease agreement that we would put together with the artist and the town covers that. Take that into consideration. For instance, suppose the town wants to buy it. They can do that. That's an option that they have. Otherwise, the artist has to come in and take care of it and pull it out, and we would do it all over again with somebody else.
Is there a limit as to how long they can have it there? Like, if an artist wants
Years.
to leave it there,
2
can he
years.
leave it longer than 2? I mean, like, I see.
Not
well,
without us okaying it for some reason
Okay.
or other, yeah. It's a very well-written agreement, and I put it together with John Burt, who saw a copy of it.
Uh-huh.
He was happy with it, which was really
Nice.
extraordinary, that right out of the box. Usually you have to go through this thing.
And out of that 9,000, what did the artist get?
Essentially $2,000 a piece. That's why it's 5 times 2 would be 10. And it covers them bringing the sculpture in to us.
What about the pad? Who pays for the cement pad?
Under the behest part.
I'm sorry, I did not get that. I heard the question was, who pays for the
That's
pad?
really- to be honest with you, that's really not relevant to what we're talking about now. We just want to I'm just talking to Missy so she understands what's going on, but
Okay.
all we want to do is just like support it.
Question, could we include that the selection of those artists is going to be done with the help of this person? Do you have that in the motion? And
I think it's the most important thing is, does the committee support this?
Because I put her in there specifically because she's got a lot of experience with this. And I would talk to her already, and she's more than happy to do it. But we may want to put some of us on the committee, or somebody else in town that has some kind of expertise. Rather than I just put that down there so that it kind of like fill in a blank.
Yeah.
But,
Carries a little more weight to it.
It-
Shows that
yeah,
you've been-
yeah, I
exactly.
mean, I don't, yeah, I think it's at least it's not no background. They're going to have a bunch of questions. It should be clarified.
Absolutely, yeah.
So after 2 years, I think, do we have to go to the town council to get more money?
Mhm.
Or, so are
If
they
we wanted
aware?
to do it again, yes.
And if we didn't do it again? Or
You
if
have,
we wanted
you have
to
a
do
nice
it?
cement pad there.
Well, that's what I'm asking. So if we did want to do it again, but for some reason they don't approve it, we just have,
Well, keep in
I'm
mind that
just trying to understand.
this is all being done because of what's going on in the land Florida. They do this all the time. And it's a well-recognized and well-received kind of a project. They do every couple of years, they do it over again. You get money from the town to do it, they get about $25,000, $30,000 to do it. We're operating on a short
Well, that's
budget. So,
a concern, yeah.
but, I mean, it's enough money to make this thing work. That's what the whole idea is.
Kind
So even, it's only 5. They do a lot more than 5, but essentially they're paying $2,000 a piece.
Is it worth going in front of the town council now to say what we're planning, so that in 2 years they don't say, what do you mean, you rented them or whatever, and.
Well,
I'm
my
just
thought is,
asking,
my thought is to get this thing in here so that people can see it and say, yeah, we like that. Or they don't, but I mean, I can't imagine people wouldn't like it. So we want to have like a path that people can follow once it's in place. Something they can look at and say, yeah, no, that's
Yeah.
right.
The other thing is, RTM, you can go and ask the, town council for, whatever, for things, as long as it's under $10,000, you don't have to,
That's
that's
why
not the
it's
RTM
9999.
approval, you can just, they can approve it right there and then.
It's not gonna impact our budget and what we get.
No.
It's not gonna
This is all-
take-
This is all money that's been allocated to us.
So my concern is, and I brought this up at the last meeting, is that the town has just established here it is, Performing Arts Commission, and they had specifically, when I spoke with the mayor, he had specifically mentioned the Yukon Von Flip Gallery, because that's who they wanted to partner with. And my thought was that if that is a better place for this project, because you'd be surrounded by knowledgeable people who have the focus of art.
Yeah, it really is a different animal entirely, and it requires different personnel. I think that Von Schlippy is perfect for us to partner with. I don't have any idea what Performing Arts would do, who runs it, how it works.
Yeah, it's just getting started.
It's another deal entirely.
Okay.
I don't want to dilute our effort to do this.
Okay.
If they want to go in a different direction, go with Von Schlippy, fine. I haven't talked to Jean Cervallo about that at all, because I didn't know about it at the time. But have they talked to her about it specifically?
All I know is that I don't remember a specific name though. I thought they were talking about specifically working with Yukon though. And of course they have that wonderful sculpture path ready, so that's kind of a no-brainer.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so that was my concern, and once again, I have concern about how it's gonna continue on, but in actuality, I think what we're really talking about is this specific thing, getting it started.
Yeah.
And
Plus the all of our money is to the beautification committee, through the beautification committee. So I think it has to stay. For now.
I don't know if that's the case or not, but,
Well,
you know.
the application was,
for our
the application was,
project.
yeah.
Right, I know,
Yeah.
but,
Yeah, this is our deal.
all right, so, all right, who else has questions or concerns or, Tim? No?
Most of the big thing was just in the paper today on the Yukon path. They put, I think, new sculptures up in the MJ.
At Avery Point?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think they're starting to rotate theirs through. So
That's what they do.
let's get ours going so we can compliment them. And two sculpture walks probably would be a good.
Their
thing.
stuff is more installation than what we would do.
Yeah.
We want something that's kind of semi-permanent. Have you seen their walk?
I just saw it this morning, so I was getting ready.
Okay.
I've gone and seen them in the distance. I have.
Yeah. A lot of it is conceptual kind of thing.
And there's also, but
installation.
it changes a lot too, though.
Yeah.
They do have comments.
Yeah.
Okay, but all of ours would fit. They need to be the size that
Yep.
would fit on a.
Yep.
All right, Shirley, did you have anything you wanted to say?
It really bothers me that we're renting these, so we don't own them.
What's that?
It bothers me that we're renting sculpture rather than owning them.
We're actually leasing them. That's the correct term for what we're doing. It's a time-honored tradition. It really is. Owning them, nothing would make me happier than to own them, but you know, that's big money to own them. There we are.
Yeah, okay. And also your point about looking into the whole situation with the sale, because, yeah, we don't.
And if the
Yeah.
town council decides that somebody presents a sculpture that everybody falls in love with, fine, they can buy it. Well, that's a possibility. That's an option.
Or we've even talked, I mean, this is like down the road, and I don't wanna, maybe somebody at business or something.
Yeah.
What we were hoping. Anyway, all right, anybody have any other comments? So this is one of those things where what we're looking for now is if you vote yes, that means you are going to support this, the motion, which is to get going on the sculpture garden. If you said no, it means you're not going to support it, and if you can abstain, if you're not sure. However, we do, we would need a quorum on this, which is 3 people for it to pass. So I need a show of hands who support, and of who says, yes, we should continue with, the sculpture garden that Bruce is heading. Raise your hand. Leanne, that's 4, okay? So that's all of us. And I really, really appreciate everybody's, I have concerns too. I don't think my concerns are strong enough to say, no, let's not do it.
Well, that's how I got the money. That's why we have the money.
Well, we originally, I mean, I thought it was gonna be for murals, but it was much more open than that. It was murals or art of any type in the town. And
Originally, we did want murals,
yeah,
but we don't have enough money to do one
Right.
mural.
well, let's not talk about that, but, so I'm gonna say the motion passes on a vote, 4-0 vote, 4-0-0 vote. And so we can, I don't know if Kevin wants something specific from me, or if you can just.
I think that would be best.
Okay,
if you don't mind.
okay,
Yeah.
okay. All right.
Buying first.
I will.
Anything.
Excuse me,
No, oh,
Cindy,
sorry.
is there, does this motion include authorizing you to convey the committee's vote of to the appropriate authorities, whoever the town person? I'm not clear on that.
Yeah, what I'm gonna, it authorizes, it's basically, the motion says that the committee supports this project. And so that's what Kevin Fitzgerald is, in charge of dispersing and approving the ARPA monies.
No, I understand what the motion was and what the vote does, but I'm asking, you said you would talk to somebody, don't you have to have that by motion as well? Or included within, it's within the
No.
motion you just voted on?
Yeah, no, not in this committee.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you for asking, yes. We are.
I had 16 years as head of my condo association. I'm real familiar with Robert's.
Yeah. No, I
Okay.
appreciate that. We're a little, a little looser than that.
Okay, thank
The
you.
motion does carry, and
Yep.
thank you all for your input. We'll have to have a second motion at well, I don't know if we need to make the money. I'm not doing a motion.
Filling it up.
Money for
I'm sorry, you're lowering your voice, Cindy, and I cannot hear what you're saying.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just really having chit chat with.
Oh, okay. And Leanne is laughing.
Stop laughing at me, Leanne. All right.
Little chit chat.
All right. All right. That's perfect. Okay.
Onward and upward.
Beautification awards. We'd written last month about beautification awards. I'll refresh your memory. It was in the minutes. We talked about Dr. McKay, who's on Long Hill Road. Yeah. The Gulf gas station at Route 12, which is, it's kind of below Panera and Stop and Shop there, and it looks quite nice. It's all annual, but boy, they're making an effort.
They bought it.
Yeah, I'm very surprised. Sound Design, which is owned by Chris Bates, who's done some work with the beautification committee. He doesn't have any signs up, but he basically has his landscape design right across from Northeast Utilities, and so he's put in a garden and Wildflower Salon, which is just a little bit further up the road.
And these, the containers are really awful right now. I think they stopped watering them.
Oh.
And,
Well, that's too bad, yeah.
yeah, I think that this
but they're not, they're dying. Okay, that's not good. And then there was a lawyer, and I'm telling you, I tried to figure out, it's the lawyer on Fort Hill Road, the lawyer office on Fort Hill Road near Groton Social Services. And I was trying to figure it out, and I was trying to look, and I couldn't.
Yeah, O'Grady.
O'Grady,
yes.
But
That's
I
Mark O. Greater, I think, Grater.
Is it,
and
it's
that would be-
apostrophe?
Yeah.
And that would be 4 Fort Hill Road.
Yeah, okay, yes,
Yeah.
okay. All right, I tried to look that, and I must have been looking for Great, I don't know. Okay, so it's Mark, all right. So, I don't know if there's somebody who wants to do this. This is the kind of stuff that I don't really, I need somebody to.
Well, I brought this to your attention that, a couple of years ago. So I don't mind taking it back, just doing what has to be done now. Are you giving them awards now?
No, we were talking about, like, do we, so I think, I think we'll take off Wildflower if they haven't maintained their, I mean, that's what, the area looks better in general, but, but yeah, it's the flower size.
What's the next step?
The next step, I would imagine, is voting on it. We weren't gonna give this to everybody, we were gonna give it to one at this point. And so I'm wondering if people know these areas and would have a specific, opinion about who they think of these 4, Dr. McKay, the Gulf Gas Station, Sound Design, or Marco Grader, if we have it, if we can vote on who we like the best. Not who we like the best, I'm sorry, whose land, who's done, whose land beautification.
I think that the most drastic change, is what Chris did.
Chris Bates from Sound Design, he's the one who's right across.
That's really a huge project, and it's done. So, I mean, in terms of, if we compare what with the bond was selected because they really did something, around their business.
Yeah.
That's what it's doing. So
Yeah.
basically, if we want to follow on the same trend, it would be a good candidate.
And we didn't say we would just do one a year. There's no limit.
Right.
We had said we could do a year.
Right, we
This
were,
is the first one that we're actually voting on since the barn.
Right.
exactly, the barn was
Yeah.
just a hands down
Right.
winner.
Yeah.
I'm fine with the Sound Design. If you think that that's really the,
I mean,
Compared to the scope of the others, I think this one is
well,
clearly.
I agree, and I think Chris Bates, he's a fantastic man and does a lot for the town. However, I think that the Route 12, the Gulf gas station, I'm just astounded you don't see gas stations in Groton beautifying their.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I agree with Missy that we don't have to select only one.
Right.
I was going to say, well,
Yeah.
maybe we have Chris and the gas station.
well, that's great. That would be really good. That would cover and maybe encourage gas stations.
Well, that guy is a real supporter. He was one of the first guys I talked to about putting a mural. He agreed right away.
Right, and he's got
He
that.
did want to advertise incorporate it into the mural. I told him couldn't do that. But that
Good.
huge wall that's there, when you drive into the
Yeah.
Stop and Shop lot on the right-hand side,
Yeah, next to the
could have been,
pickpocket. Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
And
It's gonna be one
so
day too. you know.
for the future perhaps, but
Yeah.
he's very supportive. I
Yeah.
can't remember his name, it's like a Middle Eastern kind of thing.
Yeah.
But, neat guy.
Yeah.
And was willing to do whatever we had to do.
Yeah, and I really like that.
So when do we do the vote?
You
I
wanna do
think
the vote?
we should be generous and do both.
Okay,
Good idea.
I have motion that we, accept, selecting Sound Design at the gas station.
I cannot hear what's being said.
Just put down
Lee
much
is
discussion.
nominating the Route 12 Gulf gas station and the Sound View Design
Mason Bahri is
and Soundview Design on, what is it, road? Poconic Road, and on Poconic Road to receive beautification award.
And that, was that, who moved that?
2023. I'm sorry?
Who moved that? Was that Aline?
Yes, Aline. And,
Okay.
Leanne, I just wanted before, I'm sorry, we already have a motion, so I can't ask you your opinion until later. All right, it's been moved. I will second. Is there any discussion? And this is where I'm gonna go to, Leanne. Are you familiar with these areas, Leanne, that we're talking about? The Gulf Station on Route 12, kind of across from Taco Bell.
Yeah.
And Town Design, which is owned by Chris Bates, which is right across from, Groton Utilities.
Yeah.
So those, are you familiar with those? I know you're a longtime Groton person, so I love your input.
No, I think that's fine.
Okay. All
What
right.
are we giving them?
So it's been moved and seconded, all in favor of giving the beautification awards to those two businesses, signify by saying aye, or raise your hand so that Meredith can see.
I can't see anything.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry.
Aye.
It's four of us.
Unanimous.
It's unanimous, yeah, 400
Thank you.
to, and we will be giving them their certificate, and I have one frame, but I don't have a second frame. So we'll need to get, actually, were you the ones who got the frame in the first place? I think you may have, but anyway, I think I have it.
Yeah.
So I need to print it up.
Okay.
And then we'll have to decide when we're gonna give it to them and how we're gonna publicize it.
Right.
Has to be on Facebook, yeah. All right, wait, it'd be nice if we printed it up and then take a picture of it, maybe?
Well, when you give it
Oh, yes, yes.
Cindy, excuse me, I gotta run to another meeting, so thank you guys for all you're doing, and I'll talk to you all soon.
All right, I wanted to let you know, Leanne, before you go, I'm not gonna be here in October, so we'll be talking about what you guys wanna do. Okay?
Yep,
Keep your eyes peeled.
all right, well, if you want, I have no problem with doing the meeting.
Okay. All right, good to see ya.
Thank you.
All right, let me see. Adopt a Road, do you have any information?
No, the date is still October 21st,
Okay.
third, Saturday of the month, unless the weather is really bad and we need to, push it to the following Saturday.
So,
So on the next meeting, I'm going to bring sign-up sheet because I need to call Jim at the transfer station a week before with the exact number of participants. So I will bring that.
so we need to put that out too, and is there any way we can let people, like, can they volunteer?
They who?
To participate in our Adopt a Road, which is going to be on October 21st. What's the time? Is there a time yet?
Well, I would imagine 10 to noon. I mean, it's a mile.
Yes.
So-
Well, send me the information and I'll put it out there. Now, the Mystic Chamber of Commerce is having a big cleanup
On the 15th, which is a Friday,
on a Friday, right, of 15th of September? is
Yeah.
it?
15th of September.
From Mystic to London.
Oh, wow.
I don't know what they're doing, just so you know. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't know if that road could even be included in it, so.
I would.
We
doubt
have
it.
no idea.
I would
Well,
doubt it.
I
Yeah,
don't know. I'm
It's the
telling you
Chamber of
that.
Commerce, so,
Okay.
Yeah, no, this is the road that we are, the beautification.
Right, that's the dog thing.
yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Plus, I just drove it. I went out to Bluff Point.
It looks so clean, actually.
Yeah, it's,
Yeah,
Oh,
okay.
good, maybe we stay there.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
So I mean, how many, you want, you put it out on Facebook?
I
You
don't
might-
know if we need
That's
a
my
lot of
question.
participants because, you know.
Well, let's at least wait until after the 15th.
Right.
Okay,
That
yeah,
might be
yeah,
a good-
What day of the week is that covered? 21st?
It's Saturday, sorry.
yeah, because we also need to wear vests. and then we have.
But that's the town provide all of that.
Yes,
That's why
exactly. Yeah.
they want to know how many participants so they can have everything ready
Yeah.
for.
Right. Excellent.
So,
Is it just our committee or do we have other people?
well, I mean, if we have only 3 people of our committee, then we'll drum up a few more people, but
Yes, we definitely need,
if we have 5 or 6 people, I
You
think
can-
we should be fine.
you can bring a friend, bring a friend.
Right, so that's where we want to be careful what you put on Facebook.
Yeah,
You want
right.
50 people to show up
Yeah.
and not have enough.
I think we need to
Take
wait,
care of all chronic friction.
That's right, that's right.
we need to wait till the next meetings that we have the
Yeah.
number of sign up, and then we can decide if we did go or not.
All right. All right, Leanne's not here. Oh, Meredith, did she have you do volunteer call list, did Leanne have you work on a volunteer call list?
Yeah, I have a grid. I was having trouble with my computer, but I have actually made one using a pencil and a ruler, and I can scan that and email it to the committee.
Oh, that would be delightful. Thank you, Meredith, so much.
That's 6.5 you're talking about, right?
Correct.
I'll do that from the office tomorrow.
Oh, thank you so much. All right, and then I already spoke about this a little bit. It's just I want to make sure everybody knows it's I'm sorry, moving on to 6.6. Performing Arts Commission, it's resolved to create in the town. I still think in some respects we might get more traction if we worked. I feel like Bruce was kind of out there on his own. Dana's happy to help you, and actually Dana Tamararo says hello. She has had her hip replaced and is doing great. But yeah, so but she's still extremely interested, you know.
Yeah.
She's just not able
She's
to.
not available though much. That's a problem.
Yeah. So I mean, having a true committee to work on this, I think might be a good thing. It is just in its infancy. You have a project that we're going to move forward on. So I just wanted to keep it out there.
Sure.
In front of everyone, you know, that it is something that's happening, and if they start to get some traction, we might be able to get some traction with them. That's all I have to say about that. My 2 cents. And anybody else have any? Okay. New business, moving on to new business. I have something exciting. So Breeze Line, which is a company that does, I think, communications like internet and things like that, has come recently into our community. And last year they partnered with the Park and Rec, and they planted 2 big trees in front of the Spicer building at the Park and Rec. And they came this year to Mark Berry, director of Park and Rec, and said, we want to do a cleanup. And he said, well, do you really want to do a cleanup, or do you maybe want to partner with the town of Groton Beautification Committee, because maybe that would be more fun. And so we are talking about the area actually right here. When you first come in, you drive into the parking lot, and on your right, there's a few nice mature plants, a dogwood, and then a horrible nest of weeds and invasive things. So we are going to see if their group of possibly 15 people could come here who have volunteered and pull out weeds.
I'm
And
sorry.
then I'm sorry?
Can you clarify what location you're talking about them coming to?
All right, let's call it the planting area that runs along Groton Long Point Road at the Town Hall Annex.
Gotcha.
Apparently that was really beautiful at one time. Someone told me that it used to be spectacular.
And there have been a number of things that have died, that have passed away, plants,
Yeah.
not humans, and they don't seem to have the capacity. They keep weeding it, but they're not planting it, and they can't use weed killers anymore. So weeds just come right back up. So what I would like to do is weed it, And a number of us a couple of years ago put, cardboard underneath the mulch at the top of Fort Hill Road, and it's not perfect, but it is 80% better. Jim, have you gone by there recently? Jim and Sharon and I spent that last summer watering and weeding. Oh, it was the summer before that actually, and last year we put down the cardboard. So we were watering last year, but there was weeds, and we've been there a number of times, but it's a bucket of weeds versus the entire thing covered with weeds. So I am proposing to do the cardboard and the mulch again over here. Doesn't mean it's going to stop the weeds, but it's going to depress them tremendously.
Start saving our own.
Good boxes without, and I had gotten some really good boxes from it was funny because it was a florist, and their plants come in beautiful, like virgin cardboard, and we used some of those. So I'm going to see if I can find some of that, but yeah, it's going to need, luckily it's a nice rectangular spot and it's flat. But they've already picked the date. They had the date already. It was September 23rd. It's just 2 weeks away. So I'm kind of scrambling to try to buy some plants. We're going to try to put in a lot of shrubs and natives. And
So what does breeze line want out of this?
I think it's the same thing as what the chamber is doing. It's
Giving back.
yeah, and you know how Chelsea Groton has volunteers and they go out and they do these kind of things.
We're gonna get some publicity out
Yeah,
of it.
they are gonna
get, we can make it happen.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's basically for these big companies to
Right.
have an opportunity for their members to give back.
They're the 8th biggest company in the country, based
Breeze
in
Line?
North America.
Breeze
Not Breeze Line.
Oh.
Breeze Line is a
Chunk of-
subsidiary of
yeah.
another company.
It used
But
to be. didn't it
They're
used to be
big.
St.
They're
John's?
big outfits.
Yeah,
Okay,
so a lot of the
Also-
employees are probably still local Groton.
yes, because the
So
person
same
who
value.
I'm working with is actually in Boston. So she won't be coming
So
down.
the employees are encouraged. So-
Oh, absolutely,
so
absolutely.
So
So
it's a good thing. It's a win-win.
Yeah, no,
right?
Yeah.
that's a win-win
Yeah.
situation.
So it's September 23rd, which is a Saturday. It's gonna be from 9 until 12. And I need to speak with this person, because I wanna know, like, all we're gonna provide is probably some gloves, like, not, like nitrile gloves and tools, but I'm not gonna do food, water, anything like that, and I'm hoping Breeze Line is going to. I don't wanna have to spend money on that, you know, I don't, or maybe they bring their own water, I don't know. That's really all you need, is you need water. However, we are going, since we're partnering with Parks and Rec, I would like to spend, at least $500 on this, if possibly. I'm not sure how much the plants cost. We're gonna order them from Fry's Corner. We have a account with them, and it's wholesale, so it's not retail, so it's very good, well priced. And it's too big of a space for me to do. I'm not a landscape designer. Shirley, unfortunately, is gonna be away, and it's really too short of a time really scheduled for any practicing landscape designer, but we can still put some nice plants in there and continue to fill in the time. Parks and Rec is going to match $500.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, which is great, and maybe we have mentioned to Breeze Line the possibility of them making a financial contribution. I'm just not sure how many plants, like my mind's not that big. I usually do small gardens.
You shrunk it down a little though, right?
Yes, and the,
Between the light poles, is that what we determined last time?
yes, and I think the planting might only be even a smaller area.
And then
but-
over time, we can-
Yeah, over
Yeah.
time, yeah, we'll do phases.
Yeah.
And,
Because it's only 3 hours, so, I mean,
Right.
but a lot of, yeah, well, there's, I mean,
yeah.
but, so I can have some people over here, like, we can prep the area we're gonna plant first, get all the mulch off, and then people can continue to weed, and then we can start planting. But I'm just, it's too big for my brain to do it, but I think I can do the bones. I'm just gonna try to do the bones. And we'll add to it. But just weeding it and mulching it, I think it's a lot more fun. You have much more finished products rather, if we go in and at least put some plants in. Unfortunately, by the end of September, well, maybe I'll probably get some mums or something somewhere too, because that makes it an immediate impact. Or asters might even be good too. Yeah. Thank you. Aline did put some, planted some mums, I believe, at Sun Park. Thank you for doing that.
I know I'm not part of the committee, but can I chime in for 1 minute?
Yes, ma'am.
Don't put in mums unless you're gonna have them watered constantly. They drink water like there's no tomorrow. You've got to water them constantly or they look like crap.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, good, every day.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, maybe we'll stick with the asters. I was looking to see if they actually have some native asters, which would still be blooming, and they'd come back next year. So I'll look into that too. Because I just wanted to look, at least some of these plants are going to be dormant. You know what I mean? When they get put, they're going to be going to sleep. You know.
If you look at the median in front of the shack at the top of, I always forget, is that Long Hill Road?
Yes.
And at the bank that goes down to the sidewalk, those have some long purple fronds. I think that's salvia, but I'm not sure. They last forever, and I think they're still blooming now, I believe.
Some of my salvia, it depends on the. Okay, I'm gonna write that down. Thank you, Meredith. Yeah, I want to put something in there. I don't want to be like, I know what it's gonna look like in the spring and the summer, but well, once again,
right,
can't get too picky, right?
So which line is it the first time they're doing that with the town? Except for the 2 trees that they planted.
I know he specifically told me about the 2 trees that they did last year, and I don't know if this is just the second time or if they've done other things with other groups.
So if they are planning, if we can kind of put them on a rotation.
Yeah, I don't know, and that's why it's important. I mean, if they have a good experience and they like it, and especially if they live around here and they ever go by the annex and they said, oh, I helped do that, that would be fantastic. But I don't know.
We'll certainly ask them if somebody would like to adopt the garden.
Right, exactly. Would you like to come and on a regular basis and just have a meeting and?
So are we still meeting at 1:30 tomorrow?
Yes. Yes. Not the person, not Katie, because she's in Boston.
Somebody else.
I just gotta. No, I think we'll just gonna look at it
Oh,
and
okay.
decide about the parameters and
Okay.
all, and then I guess she just wants to have a conversation on the phone.
Okay.
All right. All right. So everybody, I just want everybody to know that that's happening on the 23rd of September. I don't want to have you people in the dark.
Are you gonna need the plants picked up?
Yes, yes. I have my eye on all you people with white trucks. There's 3 of you here.
My truck can't go very far.
Oh, okay. Then the 2 of you. And you have the biggest truck.
I'll be glad to ride in the truck with somebody, but not, my truck can't.
I'm probably gonna have to get them sooner rather than later. I'm probably gonna have to get them sooner. Yeah, okay. Oh yeah, Mr. Retired Man. All right, last thing, okay. 7.2, the meeting schedule. So I just mentioned to you that I will not be here on October 5th. I will be in California with my daughter, visiting my mother, who is 95 and actually will be turning 96 on October 1st. So I will be there with her. I don't know if we want to have a meeting, if we want to postpone the meeting, if we want to, what do people want to do?
Maria said she was willing to do the meeting.
Let's look at October. So the 5th, the 12th is a week later. I mean, I don't know what you guys want to do. Let's members who like what do you guys think? Do we need to have a meeting in October? Do we skip it? And beyond this, talking about the schedule, Leanne doesn't agree, but I certainly do not want to meet. I don't think we need to meet. Like, if we skip the October meeting, we could meet in November. I believe it's November 2nd. And
Yeah,
I
go
don't
for
think
it.
we need to meet until March or April.
I would agree with
Unless
that.
we have, I don't know if Kevin is going to want, something else from the group in terms of, the offer.
Well, he's gonna be working. He's gonna be working all the time. There's no time off for Bruce. Even when he's.
No, but if he needs the group to, approve something, like what?
I don't think so.
Another
I think
motion?
this is all he needs. That's my guess.
Maybe because we were a little wishy-washy with the focus, what our focus was gonna be, and it was, I mean,
I think he just needs something to say that, yeah, it's okay.
okay,
I think that's all
Okay.
it was really.
all right.
You know, you send that to him and see what he says,
See what he does? Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
for sure. As, in the meantime, this thing is crawling along.
And well, you know, the more, you
Yeah.
know, the more we do, like,
Yeah.
I am, you cannot get things, you can try your very best, but it can be frustrating if you expect things to move quickly when you're working with the municipality, is what I think.
Absolutely, yeah.
Although we're gonna try to install this garden in 2 weeks, but.
You can always have the first.
Right,
Something,
right.
can't you, a special meeting?
So
or
I guess what I would
something.
propose is that we don't meet in October and that we meet in November.
Yeah, I go for that.
And while I'm speaking of November 2nd, which is the first Thursday of the month, on that day, anybody who's interested, there is a University of Connecticut symposium all day, I think like 8:30 to 3, on native plants and using them in the garden. $65 to attend. I am attending, and if anybody would like to go with me or would like me to send the information to them, I have a copy of it. Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
A lot of that going around right now, a lot of things online and things
yeah.
like that.
Okay.
For October, just send out an email reminder for the street cleanup.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
that's the other
Yeah.
thing, the street cleanup.
We should be able to do that with email.
Yeah, we can do that. Exactly.
But you need it. Are you sure? Like, we need a sign up. We need to know the
Well,
number,
it's-
right?
people can sign up by
Right.
email.
Well, I can do it now, so I can tell you I can be there.
Wonderful. I'll send you twice.
It will be. I'll bring it here.
Okay, good.
Oh, wonderful.
So we good for the second?
Oh,
November?
right, I'm sorry, yeah, so I am sorry, I'm so sorry, because I was thinking, oh, we are gonna need to meet, but if we could,
But we can do it by, we don't need to be physically present at the end
Yeah.
of the talk.
right, exactly, when we talk about things, we have to have a meeting,
Right.
but when we are just saying who's coming,
Yeah.
we can do that. All right, okay, all right, so, okay to cancel the meeting in October, and we will have our next meeting on November 2nd here at 6:30.
Mhm.
Correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Is
All
that,
right.
is that going to be a motion?
No, I can actually send it to Lisa that we are gonna
Thank you.
cancel our meeting. And, that our next meeting will be the regular meeting of November 2nd.
Okay, thank you.
And at that time, you know what I do need to, thank you, Meredith, what I do need to talk about is how are we feeling? I've told you how I feel about the schedule for 2024. I need a break, but that's just me. I don't see really the reason to meet actually, that's not true. We've met year round all the time. And you and Sharon from Florida have constantly come, and I really appreciate that. It really doesn't have to do with winter. It has to do with, well, yeah, I'm like, what are we actually gonna be doing? You're gonna be doing stuff. Anyway, so what I would propose is our last meeting of the year is November, and we begin again in, I'm not sure, because I'm gonna be away in April and March, I think. or at least in April. But it's not all about me, and I don't want it to be about me. I want it to be about you guys. I know what I like to do, which is plant flowers. And that doesn't mean that's all we're gonna be doing, you know?
Sure.
So it's not all about me. Who has a feeling about, I know Leanne had a very strong feeling that if you don't meet, the thing falls apart. But I am not as concerned about that. I don't
April
think-
is kind of a good month to meet because May you're already planting. So
Right.
I think April would be a good time to start.
Okay, because it's when we meet, you can't really do much.
And if you can't be
April.
here, then, then we'll just have somebody else run it.
Right.
Lynn or somebody, or, yeah, somebody.
All right, so we would skip December, January, February, March meeting. How do people feel about that?
That's a lot of.
That's a lot of meetings to skip, yeah.
Yeah.
I think to a degree Leanne is right, you know, when you, out of sight, out of mind. And, I would prefer to have most of the months have a meeting. And every once in a while, like now,
Uh-huh.
of course. As far as I'm concerned,
How about January and February, just giving up January and February, giving her something, so.
Well,
Yeah,
what about Zoom? We don't need to.
Or, you know,
meet-
how about-
That is true, that
It
is
could be an
true. We could do,
alternate
we could do.
you know, one of us could take over and run a meeting.
Yeah.
And just for informational purposes.
Right, right.
That's my thought on it anyway. I think you need to maintain that kind of a contact.
Continuity, yeah.
Yeah.
Not every single month, you know, like maybe once. in
Yeah,
a
because
while.
if a group like Gridline, for example, is calling,
Mhm.
someone has to say, okay, coordinate that, and if we don't, if it's only one person who receives that information, and nobody else is able to do anything, then this is a missed opportunity.
Mhm.
So,
Well,
it doesn't have to be a 2-hour meeting, but we can.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I think we need to know what's going on with each other, that's all.
Uh-huh.
That'd be my thought.
All right. Well, we need
And it
to,
doesn't have to be you, if you don't,
Right.
if you don't mind.
right, no,
You don't
I don't
necessarily
want it at all.
You don't have to appoint somebody, or you can
Uh-huh.
appoint people in a rotate.
Yeah,
rotating fashion.
maybe a winter, spring,
Maybe
rotating.
take off January
Well-
though, with their maybe.
So we meet November. Like, yeah, like, I just, like. So it would probably be very easy to skip December, right? There's gonna be a lot going on, and then. Like every other, well, I guess we need to,
We're gonna have a meeting December 24th or something like that.
well, do my birthday, December 22nd. So I'll tell my husband, no prep, no plans, I'm having a beautification meeting party, birthday party. All right, so we
Well,
need,
we can have them on this, and we can cancel.
that is
if
true,
needed.
that is true, that is true. And Meredith, thank you so much, I just can't do any more minutes.
Okay.
I mean, take any more minutes, like myself, I need some help.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Yes, I really appreciate it.
You're
And
welcome.
I will send you the motion. And what else am I getting to you?
Wait a minute, I have to turn my page to go back to where. Yeah, the motion on the project for the 5 installations,
The what? I'm sorry.
the 5 artist installations. Sculptures.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That's the one you were gonna send me.
Yes, I will send that to you. We are gonna cancel the October 5th meeting. Would anybody like to move to adjourn?
I just have one quick thing.
Okay, yes,
Payments for the t-shirt,
yes,
did you get ones from, I have,
Jim?
Jim, you got Jim?
Yep.
Dana?
No, but I spoke with Dana and I was out of town, so I will bring it to her and she's going to give me money.
Kim?
Kim?
I'm
sorry. I'm sorry, this doesn't have to be in the minute.
No.
No, I understand that one. You've canceled the October 5th meeting, but I'm not sure I heard a decision about what to do after the November 2nd meeting. You talked about a couple of different things you might do, including just having the meetings and if need be canceling them because there was nothing to discuss, but I don't know what you decided.
Yeah, I believe, we will continue to discuss that at the November meeting, Meredith.
Okay,
All right, thank you. That. And I usually, I have a meeting schedule on my computer and, so I update it every year. So I wanted to do that and have it done at the November meeting, but, maybe I'll just bring a blueprint. And then we'll decide on it at the November meeting. Okay?
okay.
All right. I'm sorry.
So if you want to adjourn, and then because this, I'll just send you who I don't think I have money from.
All right, so Elaine, motion to adjourn at, 7:59. Eileen, is there a second?
Second.
Bruce
Who's-
McDermott.
Okay,
All right, anybody, all in favor? Yes, we're all here, that's just us, it's all three, yes. We are adjourned, thank you all so much for your participation and input.
Cindy,
Fearless leaders.
Yes?
when do you need these minutes from me, and do you want me to just email them to you or to the entire committee?
Yeah, you can email them to me and I'll give a quick read, but we're supposed to have them within a week, but I usually have them the week of and I get them to Lisa.
Oh, so if I don't get them to you until the middle of next
Oh, wait,
week,
wait a second, well, I can hear Meredith. I'm sorry?
I said if I don't get them to you until the middle of next week, that's not a problem, is it?
That's totally fine.
Okay,
Totally fine, yeah. Excellent, thank you.
okay.
All right, is it okay if I sign off?
You can do one more thing. You can
Yeah.
email me the schedule you've got for meetings so that I can follow along with that as time goes
Okay.
on.
Excellent, yes, okay.
Thank you.
All right, Meredith, thank you so much. So nice
All
to
right.
meet you.
Good to meet you. You're
Yeah.
all in black,
Yeah,
all of you.
exactly. You're gonna know our voices.
All right, thanks so much.
You too. Take care.
Bye-bye.
I